It's time. It's time. We got pushed back line after line. They tried to start selling Christmas stuff. They tried to start telling us to get in the holiday spirit. Some places were selling stuff, had their whole Christmas holiday section set up in the store before Labor Day. I saw pictures and I'm like, why? How? And throughout September, they were getting set up. And I'm like, no, it's not even Halloween yet. Then Halloween came and passed, and they wanted us to fucking get in the holiday spirit. And I'm like, no, at least wait until Thanksgiving. Which American Thanksgiving is, well, was the 23rd this year, and that has come and gone, and there are no lines left to retreat to. It is the holiday season, and we have no choice. Please understand that I do not wear this hat because I am so happy the holidays are here. I am wearing this hat because Christmas is a hostile invader and I have no refuge left. All I can do is surrender. And just so you understand that I do not enjoy this, here is rare footage of me out caroling against my will. There is no holiday cheer in my body. I am scared of the holidays. Please save me. In the meantime, though, all I can really do is stare at my feed and share the interesting things that I find with you. So here we go. Sorry that I missed the previous week, but here we are again, back at it. So, without further ado, I'm gonna try to restrict the amount of time I spend talking about posts like these because largely I feel like if I stopped and talked about it, like every time I saw someone going over how the VTubing scene is dying, is in its death throes, as this person says, I would probably just have one per episode. So I'm gonna talk about it here. I'm gonna talk about it here in this video, and we're gonna try to let it go. We're gonna try to let it go, especially because I already made a video on it like last year, and my feelings haven't really changed all that much. So we're gonna read this over. VTubing is underhyped and oversaturated and currently in its death throes. I think the culture is mainly to blame. There's expectations that the average person finds weird or overwhelming. This part really kind of threw me. There's expectations that the average person finds weird or overwhelming. Interesting. Because it's oversaturated, engagement bait and drama are used as free promotion, a lot of people are burnt out, prone to melting down, or are currently having a go at canceling the nearest person. This is what we usually see when a community is falling from its apex. This also means that the technology behind VTubing is being underappreciated because the idea of VTubing itself is linked to so many problematic things. Whether this leads to a great revival or transformation of the medium is yet to be seen, but it's what I'm slowly trying to get to by shaping a tolerant, communicative, kind, and mature community that is just here to vibe. And I do want to say, good on you. I don't want to sit here and just pick apart the statement without saying that it's something that I appreciate. It's something that I personally aspire to do. But I do agree, VTubing has become oversaturated. And it's largely because, as the years have gone by, the ability to make live 2D art and rigging has become much more widespread. It used to be that there weren't a lot of people who could do it, and so people would have like limited ability to make models, largely because they have people just knocking down their door. You got slots open? You got slots open? I want a model. You got slots open? But yeah, so it's naturally become oversaturated because it was a really big thing that was hard to get into, and then it got a lot easier to get into, and so now everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it, and everyone's having a great time. But engagement bait and drama are used as free promotion. I don't think that's a side effect of it being oversaturated. I really don't think that that's a side effect of it being oversaturated or anything. Or I suppose more to the point, I don't think it's necessarily like a problem specifically with VTubing. It's just how it is on the internet. Like, I don't know how much you paid attention to like streamer social circles, even outside of VTubing, but it's not that great out there either. Um But a lot of people are burnt out, prone to melting down, or are currently having go at canceling the nearest person. Uh, citation needed. I mean, I do believe that a lot of people are burnt out. I think a lot of people are burnt out, but again, I also don't think that's necessarily a problem with VTubing specifically. You know, a lot of people get into streaming because they think that streaming is easy money. You know, you just click go live and you play video games, and you know people will tune in and throw money at you. You know, and they don't consider that you have to be entertaining as a streamer. You have to be entertaining as a streamer, and yeah, no, it's a problem. Way too many people get into streaming because they think it's easy money, and that does get a little amplified, mostly because of how big VTubing got for a while, because of how popular it was. People are like, oh my gosh, look at all these VTubers, look at all these VTubers. They're getting attention and they're getting money. Everybody's talking about them. I was talking about, I should get into that. I should do that. I should do that. I make some money. It'll be good. And then they find out how expensive it is to start VTubing. It's like, oh no. But yeah, citation needed on a lot of people are having a go at canceling the nearest person. I don't really buy that a lot of people are having a go at canceling the nearest person. But I think we all know, and in fact, I've made a video talking about a situation that turned out to be rage baiting. But it is a problem, but there's this idea that it's a problem with the VTubing community, and it's really beyond it. This also means the technology behind VTubing is being underappreciated, because the idea of VTubing itself is linked to so many problematic things. I don't think there's any problem with the technology behind VTubing being underappreciated. I think a lot of people understand that the technology that goes into making 3D and 2D models and all that stuff work is pretty dang cool. And I also think that some people have a negative view of the VTuber community, but I don't think that, a negative view of the VTuber community is impacting people's appreciation for the technology. For the millionth time since I started VTubing, I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. Listen up. VTubing isn't going anywhere. VTubing is not going anywhere. The indie VTuber community might thin out a bit, but, VTubing isn't gonna go anywhere. It's still gonna stick around because the fact of the matter is that many moons ago, back when I made my video talking about how the VTuber label isn't the problem, is that a lot of people were like, oh, the VTuber community is so problematic, I'm gonna run off and I'm gonna call myself a streamer. I'm not gonna label myself as a VTuber anymore. And it's like, oh honey, are we forgetting that we have to deal with people like like PewDiePie, who maybe you might remember had a little moment while streaming PUBG on the bridge. That was a streamer moment. That was before VTubing was a thing. That was a streamer moment. Aiden Ross, streamer, not a VTuber. I could go on, but yeah, no, it's VTubing is not going to die. It's not in its death throes. It doesn't need a revival or anything. It's going to keep going no matter what other people say. Speaking of streamers making questionable decisions, now the situation is wrapped up. I actually feel fine commenting about it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. A lot of people have talked about it. I mean, I think it's a pretty well established that she basically copied another cookie product, and it's basically a white label, which, if you don't know, is when someone else brands their thing with your branding instead of their own. So it's someone else's cookies with maybe a little bit added, like vitamin D supplements or something. But rather than spending $10 a bag to get 14 ounces of cookies, you can spend $7 a bag to get 4 ounces, which, even if you're not particularly good at math like me, it's pretty easy to say that that's a bad deal. You see, 7 out of 10, $7 for $7 a bag for hers to $10 than normal. That's 70% of the cost. But then you multiply 4 by 3, and that's 12. So it's less than a third. So you're paying 70% of the cost, but you're getting less than 33% of cookies. It's clear that there is a markup for the fact that it's got her branding on it. It's very obvious. And it's just a bad deal when you compare it to the product that it literally is. And someone in her chat who was just, saying like, the cookies feel a little expensive. Um and she just went off and just insulted the people who are upset about the cookie price and everything. Like, oh, I know math is hard when you're stupid, but if you're broke, then, if you're a broke boy, then just say that, just insulting her community. Like this wasn't just like some wild detractors. Like, this was people in her community, taking issue with the price, and she insulted her own dang community. Called them stupid, like they don't understand the pricing, and then just calling them broke boys and just basically saying, oh, well, if you're too poor to afford my merch, then, whatever. Before I go, though, we do have fabulous sappy merch, including pullover hoodie with my gorgeous image on it. The art is by Duskwalker _ my darling Emana. And as a bonus, even if you don't buy anything, I won't call you poor. When I say that it was resolved, though, I mean that she made a statement, and I wish I had said something publicly because I called it. She said it was just a joke. It's just a prank, bruh. It's just a prank, bruh. Oh, what I said was 100% intended to be a joke. I see where I came off as insensitive, and I apologize for that. Can't just say, hey, what I said was really insensitive. It has to be, well, it was meant as a joke. It was meant as a joke. I also understand the current price of cookies may be expensive for some. Promise will continue to consider pricing to keep Mina as affordable as possible. I think most people on the internet are used to people saying, oh, hey, I intended for this to be a joke, but, oh, I didn't mean it to offend anyone. I was just trying to tell a joke, but I guess it didn't come through well. It's like, just, yeah. However, let's flip off onto a different side of content creator drama, and that is a little tweet that I wasn't even sure if I want to talk about, but it kept popping up on my feed, and I'm like, all right, I guess I can spare a minute or two or three. So Mike Rose tweeted about a game release that the game release for Spirit Tea, and said a hugely noticeable thing that happened during this launch was that we got absolutely zero YouTube coverage at all. Zero YouTube coverage. Zero YouTube coverage. So anyways, go search Spirit Tea on YouTube and you'll see there's just a couple of big videos. Nearly every YouTuber who got back to us wanted money to make a video. Now look, I get it. That's just how this works now. YouTubers want you to pay them to cover your game. Alright, sure. But I just don't want to do that. It feels weird and icky and disingenuous, and I just can't do it, so I guess our games won't get covered on YouTube anymore. Of course, the fact that we still managed a $1 million launch without any influencer support makes me think, what could we have achieved if I did pay some people? So maybe I'll be forced to in the future, but God, I just really don't want to. It's so fucking ugh. The quote retweets were not good to this man. Not at all. So there seems to be this idea that, like, if you pay people to give your game coverage, that's wrong. Except we literally have, like, marketing and advertising firms. Like, if you, like, Google isn't going to just put up an ad out of the goodness of their hearts, like nobody is just going to, like, put up an ad, like, out of the goodness of their hearts. I mean unless you're, like, a close friend and it's like some passion project thing or whatever. The thing is that YouTubers, much like streamers, a lot of us want to be making some money, so we do this to some degree as a job. Some people do it full time. Me, I do it part time. But if you came to me and you were like, hey, I want you I would like you to, play this game and like promote it, I might be interested. The thing is that when your job is promoting games and that is playing games and talking about them and making videos and everything, because here's the thing, I don't put out a lot of videos because I am my own editor, and that takes a lot of time and work and effort. Even for people who do their own editing and everything, it's so much time out of their day. And for people who have editors that they pay, that is money that they are spending to get that video produced and put live. They want to know that there is some level of guaranteed income, from promoting a game. And that's understandable. It's understandable. Whether you want to believe it's understandable or not, it is. Now, some people are going to be fine with just like, all right, well, send me a Steam key, just send me a Steam key, so, don't make me pay for it and then also promote it and that. Some people are going to be fine with that, and some people are not going to be fine with that. But you are asking them, you are recognizing that these are content creators with communities and standing and everything. And you are asking them to use this stuff that they have built up through a, probably long career for your product, essentially for free. And then you're going to say, like, well, I could pay these content creators for promoting my game, but that would feel wrong. Reading that is what felt wrong, but it's how it is. Hopefully, this person gets their head on right, And if they don't, oh well, they're not going to have a lot of content creators wanting to work with them in that case. I will say I do agree with Kana, though. The best time to delete this tweet was when you sent it. The second best time is now. It was a little bit anticlimactic ending it like this. I kind of wanted to have a few more things, but a lot of the stuff that's been popping up that would be worth talking about is stuff that's a little bit more, let's say, dramatic. But one thing that I will give mention to is that I made a post talking about Trans Day of Remembrance, and something that was mentioned, that I saw mentioned by multiple people, is that a lot of the focus and a lot of the attention was given mostly to trans femmes, which is something that is an unfortunate trend. Trans feminine people, that is, say, like trans women and, feminine identifying trans people, tend to get a lot more attention, both positive and negative in the media. They also get more representation in pop culture, and their stories tend to get told more when it comes to like real life stuff and real life tragedy and everything. And I do want to give some love because our trans men, our trans brothers, definitely deserve some love as well. One of the things that I decided to skip over, largely because it's just a minefield of bad takes and hostility, was the whole anti-women spray boy kisser thing. And while a lot of people were talking about the misogyny tied up in, just having this attitude of, ew, girls, disgusting, get away from me, which is really kind of childish, very kindergartner level stuff. Some people that were forgotten were, as you might expect, trans men who unfortunately have seen that kind of attitude and have actually had that meme sent to them, oh, you're a trans man? Anti-women spray, ooh, ew, no. Which is just, disgusting. And people will sit here and they'll fuss over some things, for all trans people about, like, is it right or is it wrong to have, a genital preference or anything? And some people are, and a lot of people are never going to agree on that. But one thing I think we should all be able to agree on is the fact that when you call trans men women, you're being transphobic and you're being a bigot. And regardless of how you feel about genitals, don't call trans men women and don't call trans women men. It's really easy. It's really chill. Just be good people. It's the holiday seasons. Joy to the world, goodwill to all. Anyways, on that note, I'm getting out of here. And until next time, ta-ta, darlings.